Donna Smith, aka Lady D. I am live with a video of today, Tuesday, June 1st. We are the beginning of June. We're getting ready to be in summer. I can't believe how fast this year has been going. I tell you, you guys got to excuse me, I'm just myself. But this year has been going by really fast. And first off, I want to say, how was your holiday weekend? How was it? Did you guys have fun? Did you reflect upon the meaning of Memorial Day, giving thanks to our veterans who have served time, who have lost their lives doing time, all of that? We give thanks to each and every one and to the family members and friends. My grandfather was a military man, very strong military man, and I'm pretty sure most of us have had somebody, at least one in our family that is. And I just thank you all for the wonderful job that you have done and that you are still doing, and that you will be remembered for those who have been lost. So, with that being said, what you guys do? You get some barbecue, you get your extra day off, which was yesterday, and had to go back to work today. Uh-huh. Wasn't that hard? I know it was. It's always hard the day after the holiday to go back, but we got to do what we got to do, right? So, I like to touch bases with you guys in the afternoon. It's been another thing I want to say. And it's hot now. I'm kind of sticky all around with all this hair. I'm sticky. But I want to say yesterday was so freaking warm here in the Bay Area. I mean, there is some cities who got as high as 104 degrees, which was where I'm at. And I tell you, I didn't even want to go outside. I made sure I stayed hydrated. I made sure that I just kept myself as cool as I could. I made sure that my attitude was on point, on check, because when it's hot, you do get a little flustered, you do get a little bothered, you do get a little uneasy, and you really don't want to be dealing with folks if you don't have to, right? So I just said that to say, um, we're embracing and we're loving this summer thing coming, but turn it down a little. Jesus, that's 104 degrees is hot. So I wanted to know, did any of you guys also enjoy the warmth, and what did you do for the holiday? Care to share? Just let us know. Did you do anything different? Uh-oh, almost had a shipwreck here, y'all. Stay with me. Me and this technical stuff sometime, I tell you, I just want to get to the point where somebody's doing it for me, because I be having my struggles. But anyway, I'm here. Oh, I'm here. So tell me, what is it that you guys did? What did you do for the weekend? What was it that you like to share that was fun? Maybe to give somebody an idea to do some things. I'll tell you, I used to do the Stone Soul concert at the Concord Pavilion in California every year, where we had a host of R&B artists, and yeah, I mean, just so much fun. And I missed that. I missed that during this holiday. It was just a great socialization of our folks coming together and having a great time. And man, I thought about it this weekend, and I missed it. It's been a couple of years now since the pandemic that we've had to kind of halt it, but I'm hoping that next year we'll be back at it again. So, with that being said, I'll let you think about what you did over the weekend and how you dealt with the heat. And my topic of today is, you know, I know we've all had relationships at a grown folk stage in our life. We have had relationships at some point or another. Some of us are still involved in them. Some of us are out of one, going into another. Some of us are out of one going into another and trying to find another. I mean, we have had our share of experiences, right? So, with that being said, um, what about a relationship? Let me just get a napkin here, y'all. I got a little allergies going on. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. Ha! Be right back. Okay, I'm just as real and 100 as it get. On camera, off camera, whatever. This is me, Lady D, your hostess with the most ass, with a little seasonal allergy sometimes. So anyway, like I was saying, we all have had those relationships, right? And we all have been taught lessons. There's been lessons from each and every relationship that you encounter. There's something that you have learned, you grow from. Sometimes you take it, the knowledge and the growth into your next relationship, and it's for the best. Sometimes it may be for the worse, because there's a difference between baggage and there's a difference between a lesson. Okay? Um, Now, taking baggage into your next relationship is not unpacking things before you take upon something new. That's your baggage. That's your weight. It could be things that you dealt with in that relationship, maybe trust issues. Uh, Perhaps there was disrespect issues. Perhaps there was cheating. There was a feeling of not feeling worthy. Um, there was being taken advantage of. There was a lot of baggage that we get and build up to the point where it's time for us to take off because we can't take it anymore. Um, Abuse is a big one. So, therefore, if you're bringing baggage into your next journey, you're not gonna do nothing but weigh down that next relationship more weighty than it probably even had a chance to start off. You're gonna hold it down because you're still in a position where you haven't unloaded. However, when you're talking about lessons, now we have been with people and we have learned about ourselves. We have grown in the learning of ourselves, and we have learned more about people, this person, and people in general, the lessons from that relationship. You perhaps may have learned that um, you need to be more patient. You may have learned that, people are different. There's differences. When you get together in a relationship or a marriage and you're living with someone, you have different backgrounds, different beliefs, different places you've come from, where you're not going to be on the same page all the time. Get this. I know of a couple that one of them is has a past military life. So, hello, Willie. One of them have a military life. Okay, so they have that background. So they do everything militant, from stacking their food on the shelf, from folding their clothes in these little itty bitty tenfold folds and putting them in the drawer to save more space, to conserving, to how they shop, to how they rest. They're early risers, all of that. But they are different from their partner, who is just one who is used to being out here in the world without any military background. They fold their clothes neatly in their little fourfold way and put it in the drawer, and that's it. They stack their canned goods on the shelf with, if the string beans has gotten mixed up with the corn, oh well. Oh well. They're not early morning. They get up maybe 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, stay up late, and they're different. It's just different. Just different. But, you know, there's lessons to be learned. There's compromise. Sometimes differences attract, they balance. Where someone is stronger in this area, someone is weaker, you kind of try to teeter totter and balance one another. That's why opposites, they say, attract. That's why a lot of times opposites make it work compared to two that are extremely the same, because there's just no differences in you. You do it the same as I do it the same as you, and it's just, it could be a challenge. No stimulation, nothing different. So, what lessons have you learned, in your relationships? What is, let's focus on your last relationship, or let's focus on your now relationship. Are there lessons that you have learned that has helped you grow, that has helped you build upon a better relationship? Perhaps if you're no longer with someone, did you learn some good lessons or solid lessons in that last relationship that now you're taking on to a new one that may come your way? Perhaps you've learned how to be more patient. You know, Before you were a little bit more impatient. You didn't have the patience to, it's like, oh man, why don't they just get to the story and shut up? I don't want to hear all that. Some people just don't have patience, and some do. Some are very easy and kind to talk to. But what did you learn? You know, and in regards to the baggage, going back to that, um, have you unleashed your baggage before going to the next situation? What's interesting is sometimes, folks will say, well, I keep on finding the same situation over and over again. It's like I'm picking the same woman, or I'm picking the same man, and they're the same traits and they're not good for me. But I keep on picking the same, and not what I truly need. Well, you haven't given yourself an opportunity to really dig inside of you and bond with the growth that's in you and the needs that's in you, and things that you need to balance you. So when you don't really learn and get enough from that past relationship to teach you more about life, relationships, love, yourself, then sometimes you end up repeating the wheel. You get the same kind of woman or the same kind of man. Like some women are, you know, they come from abusive relationships, and then here, they're back in another abusive relationship. They don't like or want the abuse, but they keep attracting those type of men. Why? Why? Because it's something that they need to deal with within themselves. It's no longer about the guy that you're attracting as you. It's something that you need to deal with and get help for within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Um, Now, I see Willie is talking about a girlfriend's grown son that don't want to pay bills. Now, that's one of my live watchers, and I'm gonna touch on that. Also, you can be in a relationship with someone, living with them, or what have you, and they have a grown child living with them. I say child, but they're grown adults. I'm using the term child because if they're not holding their weight and taking care of, being able to give something into the pot, or being able to take care of themselves, and you still are, and I say they're 20 plus years and up, something's wrong with that picture. Now, we as parents, we need to help our kids in the best way that we can, because it's rough out here, and kids are staying home longer than they naturally should. Like back in the day, I think I was 21 when I left home, and God knows I never went back, but I knew I could, but I never went back at 21. Nowadays, I mean, we got adult children at 31 still at home. It's hard to survive out here. The rent, The cost of living, the jobs aren't paying much, and they're having a larger struggle. But at the same time, you have to steer and teach them responsibility. Even if they're not living with you and you're constantly trying to give them money and do things for them and not allow them to really find their way. Maybe they're staying with the other parent or a friend or a cousin or someone else, but they always in your pocket. But at the same time, they not trying to get a little job. Because you can get a little job and earn some responsibility by, shoot, Walmart is hiring anybody really. You got, if you got a record or whatever, you can get a job at Walmart, Home Depot, Target. It's places like that where, no, they don't pay a lot, but it's somewhere to get your foot in the door, to get some work experience, to get some independent responsibility about yourself. So, it gets to a point where they're grown that we need to take that silver spoon out of the mouth. We can't continue to feed them, taking care of them, but we can help them when they truly need the help. We can assist and direct them when they truly need that, but taking care of them, no. That puts your other mate in a very tough situation. Say, for instance, you're living with someone, they're taking care of the bills. You got, they taking care of most of the bills. You got this grown son or grown daughter that's staying at home, and I ain't gonna mention having kids, but staying at home and they don't have anything to contribute. So they eating like a horse. They turning on and off the electricity. The bill is high. The water bill is high. They watching cable. They doing all these things, but they're not contributing. What are we teaching them about society, being independent and growing up? Absolutely nothing. Because what happens if mama can't be there no more? What happens if daddy can't be there no more? What are they going to do? Society is not nice. It's not nice. Now, if you have a young adult child that's at home that's trying, maybe perhaps they're a student in school, perhaps they got a part-time job and they only have enough for their little pocket and they're doing something to better themselves, by all means support that. Support that. You know what I'm saying? But all that other stuff, no. You can't just have a grown son that don't want to pay the bills, and your girlfriend is cool with that and letting him just lay on the couch and smoke his weed. Yeah, because for some reason they find a way to get the weed, right? But they don't have no money to do nothing else. So I hope that helped with bringing that up. And then back onto the relationship situation, um, about, your baggage, about lessons learned. Keep yourself open to learning and growing. Some people are in a position, or in a mindset, well, you can't tell me nothing. I already know. Who are you to be trying to tell me what I need to do and how I need to do it and blah, 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 blah. I'm older than you. I've lived more life than you. And I'm talking about mainly because men don't really go there too much about the age, but sometimes when a woman is a little older, some men say that she finds herself being too motherly, like she's the mama, like she's the one that knows and she's gonna tell you and she's gonna set you straight. Ladies, another subject right here. If you decide, or if you are a cougar and you are with a man that is 10 years or more younger than you, probably 8 or 9 years could be too cougar too, but from what my understanding is 10 years or more. So if you are a cougar, you are not his mama, okay? He is a grown man who happens to be a little younger than you. And perhaps you guys have chose each other based on the chemistry, the maturity, and liking and vibing with each other, but it had nothing to do with age. Because I'm going to tell you, I've always had younger men attracted to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it happens. I don't even get involved with the age thing. I don't do real young kids or nothing. But what I'm saying is I don't get involved with how old are you, how old am I. It's about the connection and the maturity. And if there's a connection and maturity is there, then I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. You cool? I'm cool. You cool? You cool? It ain't got nothing to do with age. But I know people who look for age. You know, you have to be within 2 to 4 years, 2 years younger or 2 years older, or I ain't giving you a chance. Sometimes you could be missing out on your blessings. I'm not saying you have to go back 2 decades. I'm just saying sometimes you be missing out on some blessings. So stop putting age in the factor of everything. But back to, if you are older, stop being trying to be his mama and be his partner, be his helpmate. You guys build and learn from each other, because whether you're younger or older, there's something for both of you to learn. I've learned many things from older people I've encountered, and I've learned a lot of things from younger people than I've encountered. My spirit is young and youthful. My mindset is young and youthful, but however, I'm very mature as a woman. So, I don't want to be mothering to my man. If he asks me for advice, or if I need to tell you how I feel about something, I want to feel that I can do that. If you ask me for some advice on something, I want to feel as though you can take it and receive it just like I can. Because I know it's probably a lot he'll have to say about how I do some things too. Okay? Because ain't nobody perfect, y'all. Ain't nobody perfect. But these are just some grown folk topics to really just think about, think about your lessons. Think about what is it that you have grown with in your last relationship or ships that is making you a much better man or a woman today, and hopefully a better man or woman for the next relationship that you encounter. Think about the lessons that you've learned that is making you love this person unconditionally that you are with now. I see a chat that came up about um, one of my members watching here about how the girlfriend is letting her son be treated like a king, and I didn't see all of it. Hopefully it'll flash up again. But he's being treated in a way that's not respectable, living in the same house and not carrying his weight. And I really hope that you and her can talk about that, Willie. I hope that you can get some understanding. And I know it's real tricky and hard when there's this step parenting. You're not the biological parent, but you're in the way of kind of giving your voice about how the biological parent should be parenting their child or young adult. I know that can be very, very sticky, but it's all about communication. It's all about talking with the person in love, respect, sitting down, and you and that mate getting an understanding so that when you come together, if you have to come together to this young adult child and really talk, you're on the same page and one accord. It's nothing worse than a child or a young adult child, a teenager, young child, knowing that they can manipulate or play both parents against one another, especially when it's a step parenting type of situation. I really hope that you guys can work that out. I really, really do. And back to the final point that I'm making is that your lessons, take them forth in a positive way. Your baggage that you have, unleash, unpack, throw away, burn, shred, whatever you got to do. Take it to the Goodwill, throw it in a dumpster. Whatever you got to do to get rid of your baggage before you move to the next. Don't bring your mess to your next situation. As a matter of fact, chill out until you even get to the next situation. You got to give yourself a woosah. You got to give yourself an opportunity to emotionally get rid of what you were feeling and attached to. Because the worst thing is getting involved with someone else and getting their feelings all tied up in you, and you are still stuck on that other person. It ain't gonna work, y'all. It ain't gonna work. You gonna get to comparing. You gonna get to tripping. You gonna get to having moods. You gonna get to missing them. You gonna get to Even your bonding, your physical bonding becomes a challenge, and things become a challenge because you're still emotionally caught up with the last person. Now, mind you, you can still have feelings for that person, but you've decided to move on. Once you get to that point of I've decided to move on, and emotionally you can't move me, your words, whatever, you can't put me in a bad way, a funk, or have me treating who I'm with different, then you know you're ready. Then you know you're ready. Get rid of that baggage, okay? Them grown ass kids that's at home and you trying to make a new life with somebody that you with, and they laying up and they ain't doing nothing and don't want to do nothing. Y'all got to work that out. Because what message are you giving that child, that young adult? What message are you giving them? It's all bad. They may be at home until they 40. You know what I'm saying? 40. I'm not making light of it, but it's real life, y'all. This is grown folk talk. But on that note, this is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D. I'm here in the afternoon with some grown folk talk and conversation on a Tuesday. I'm so glad you joined me, you participated, and I'm so glad to have you be a part of what I do. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you do that to my channel. I look forward to seeing you guys probably again this week on Thursday so we can chat again about some real juicy stuff. And sometimes when I'm in the mood or I'm just feeling some kind of way, I may just hit you up tomorrow. How you know? Stay tuned. Take care. Love you guys.